Hi everybody, it's Kurt and welcome back to the channel. I find myself staring at a camera again because that's the quickest way to get information to you guys without having to do a bunch of editing, and I wanted to get this out quickly to you so that it's relevant. You'll notice that I'm going to be looking kind of above the camera a little bit. I've got a script that I wrote just to keep myself from ranting too much, so my apologies for, lacking personal connection. Anyway, here we go. I wanted to drop this quick to let you know my initial impressions of BeyondATC. There are, of course, a lot of in-depth videos out there that you can watch if you aren't really familiar with the product or you want to know what it does. That's not the intent of today's video. BeyondATC released to the public yesterday, May 5, and while I was not planning to buy it on day one, I decided to give it a spin so I could tell you guys a little bit about it, what it is, and what it's not at this point in time. My initial thought for most people is just to wait. It's early access. The current version is pretty limited. It's very rigid, and it's pretty far from what I think most people are expecting. I want to be really clear right up front, though, that I have faith that these guys are going to develop it right. I am not against this product. I think it's going to be good, but it's first release early access right now, and if you're not a really technical person, and if you're not really comfortable working around some problems, including while you're in flight, if you're going to get mad if it wrecks your flight, something like that, this is not for you right now. It's also important to know that you really need to understand your IFR procedures. You need to be familiar with SimBrief and setting up flights in there. Not everybody's at that point, especially I know some of my viewers are very new into Flight Simulator, and some of that stuff is kind of, beyond where you're at this point, possibly. So keep that in mind. It doesn't support VFR right now. It's not really for everybody just yet. If you are a technical person and you're comfortable with little bugs and things, then, it may be worthy of checking out. Or if you're like me, like my thing with it is that I believe in small developers and I want to see them succeed. And so I knew I was buying into something that probably wasn't going to work right, but I wanted to get them a few bucks to help them out, because I think based on the amount of time that they put in before going to early access, they're a small team. I assume they got to the point where they just need the money. And so early access was the way to go. To be perfectly honest with you, I think it's a little early to release this into early access. It's a pretty bumpy ride. As I mentioned before, it only supports IFR. All flights have to be set up in SimBrief. And when you're in flight, there are no modifications. You can't make requests of ATC to change you to a different runway. It'll just say it didn't understand what you asked for. I found that kind of frustrating in my flight. Once you accept that that's what it's going to do, then you can kind of accommodate that and you'll have more fun with it. It currently doesn't talk to any AI traffic or inject any AI traffic. You can use it with other things, like I use FSLTL for my offline traffic, and that has no effect on it. The product runs kind of separately, and but it won't talk to those other planes. You won't hear it talking to anybody but you, and that can lead to a kind of a lonely ATC experience. You can go a long time without hearing anything because it doesn't have anything to tell you. The reason I wanted to get the video out fast on this one is because the hype machine on BeyondATC is enormous. And there's a lot of channels out there pushing the hype on it, and it's pretty hard to know what you're really going to get. As usual, I suspect there's some sponsorship money flying around out there, and it's causing channels to make videos that are more like marketing than information. So I wanted to just kind of set your expectations a little bit. As soon as I got some real information in the form of me using the product myself, I wanted to get out to you guys so that you can make a smarter decision. I want to kind of wrap up here. This is really just intended to be a very fast video. I think the product's probably going to end up being great. I have a lot of faith that they can do what they say they're doing, but they're just not there yet. And if you like things trouble-free, you're not going to be happy with it right now. So if that's who you are, I would wait. The voices and the voice recognition work fantastic. That's all exactly as advertised. But what the voices are actually capable of doing for you is not yet where they've advertised. Again, no requests, no changes in flight. If you say something it's not expecting, it just says it doesn't understand it. It doesn't attempt to accommodate. If you know all the procedures and you're ready to fly your flight plan exactly as you've planned it, and the airports that you've planned work properly and have good IFR procedures the whole way down, it works great. But if it's missing any of those items, or if you're missing the capability, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. It really depends on kind of how you go at it. I'll get another video out to you guys in a couple weeks, probably, maybe doing some flying with it so you can get a feel for what it looks like. But, again, the people who had early or who had pre-release access to this product have put out a lot of videos, so I don't really know if there's anything I can add to that. Thanks for watching, and as always, a big thank you to all the new subscribers. We've got a good steady trickle of new people showing up all the time now, and it's really great and rewarding for me to watch the channel continue to grow. And I will try to continue to make good content for you. To those of you who haven't subscribed, I hope you'll join us. That's all for now, and take care.